Everybody, we're going to be working on parallel and perpendicular lines today, and not a real tough topic if we remember everything that we've learned about slope. And I just want to start with this idea of what is parallel lines? What are parallel lines? There's two parallel lines. And if I have two parallel lines, these are parallel lines. Parallel lines have equal slopes. Parallel lines have equal slopes. So if I have two lines that are parallel, however I want to draw my axis on here, it doesn't matter. Let's say this was my axis. If this one was y equals 2x plus 3, this one could be something like y equals 2x minus 2, as an example. Because my slopes are the same. Does that make sense? Equal slopes. Now, if I have perpendicular lines, however, let's say this is my coordinate plane, and I've got this line, and then I've got a line perpendicular to it like this. Perpendicular lines are at right angles to each other. Okay, that would be an example of two perpendicular lines that I drew up there. And here's the difference. It's obvious that their slopes are not the same. In this case, the slopes are opposite reciprocals. Opposite reciprocals. What does that mean? Well, we need to remember what reciprocals are. That's where you flip a fraction, right? So, like the slope of this line, if the slope of this line was 2/5, all right? If this line down here is perpendicular to it, the slope of this line would be -5/2. You flip the numbers and you change the sign if they are perpendicular to each other, all right? If they're parallel, then the slopes are exactly the same, all right? So let's take a look at the type of problem you're going to see in homework. They're going to ask you to write an equation I'll write a little bit bigger, for the line. We'll do one first for the line that's parallel to the given line and it goes through the given point. I write out these instructions a lot of times because when you go to your assignment and you see the instructions in the book, I want you to know what to do, all right? They're going to give you a line, the equation of a line like y equals 2x minus 4. We'll call this our first example. And then they're going to give you this point that the new line goes through. And we want to come up with the equation of the new line that's parallel to this one, but goes through this point. So once again, our friend is going to be y equals mx plus b. And if two lines are parallel, then they have equal slopes. So guess what? The slope of my new line is the same thing as the slope of this original line. So I can put this 2 in right here. Now we've done this process before, coming up with the equation of a line. I've got a slope and I've got a point, which means I can find out the b value. This is an x value, this is a y value. So I can put this -3 in right here. So this is 2 times -3 plus b. And I can put the y value in for y. So I can put the 5 in right there. Put this in right there. We've done this before. So now I just do the simple algebra to solve this. 5 equals -6 plus b. Add 6, b equals 11, which means I can now write my equation of this new line that's parallel to this one. And the new line has the same slope, y equals 2x, and it has this intercept. That is the equation of the new line. And I'm going to go to Desmos just for a minute to show you, just, I guess, as kind of proof that we did a good job finding this new line. So my original line was y equals 2x minus 4. Oops, thank you. Of my equal sign, 2x minus 4. And the one that we found was y equals 2x plus 11. I zoom out a little bit. We see that they are parallel, and we did a good job. All right. And you can do the same thing with Desmos on your own. You can check your answers to see if they are parallel like they're supposed to be or perpendicular like they're supposed to be. Let's do one now where where the new line is perpendicular to the original line. So we'll call this example 2. And we'll just say, we'll shorten our instructions. We'll say find the line perpendicular to the original line. All right. So let's say that my original line was y equals 2/3 x minus 4, and my new line goes through the point 6, -5. Once again, we're going to use our old friend y equals mx plus b. And once again, I need to plug in something for the slope. But because it's perpendicular, I don't plug in 2/3. I plug in -3/2. I flip the fraction and I change the sign. If this would have been a negative 2/3, this would have been a positive 3/2. All right. Here's my x value. My x value is 6. So I put the 6 in for x. I need to put it over 1 since it's being multiplied by a fraction. I'm looking for the b value. And I know that my y value is -5, so I put that right here. You can do a little bit of factoring here. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this is now -9 plus b equals -5. And I can add 9 to both sides to find my b value. Looks like it's 4. And my new equation for my new line perpendicular to is y equals, remember, opposite reciprocals, -3/2 x plus 4. And once again, we could check this on Desmos. And I want to do that just to make my point that this whole thing has a graphical meaning. My original line was 2/3. Make sure you do not put the x on the bottom. 2/3 x minus 4. There's my original line. The line that we found was y equals -3 divided by 2 x plus 4. And you can tell by looking at those lines that they certainly are perpendicular. All right, we did a good job. There's only one other situation I need to make you aware of before we stop for the day. We'll call this example 3. What if they want you to find the line we're going to do parallel again. We're going to come back to parallel 2. And the original line is 2x plus 5y equals 15. The new line goes through -10, 6. Well, I told you that we're going to use our old friend y equals mx plus b, but I don't know the slope of this line yet. Do I? I don't know the slope because it's not in slope-intercept form. So I need to come over to the side someplace. This problem is just like all the rest, but it's got a couple extra steps at the beginning. I need to solve this thing for y first so that I can get it in slope-intercept form. So we're good at solving equations. To solve this thing for y, I would subtract 2x from both sides. Those go away. So now I have 5y equals -2x plus 15. Divide both sides by 5. And I don't need to clean this up a whole lot. The only thing I need from this is the slope. There's my slope. Now I know the slope of this original line, and now I can put this -2/5 in here and do everything like we did before. All right? So I can put the -2/5 in here. I can put my x value of -10 in here. I'll put it over 1 since it's being multiplied by a fraction. Plus b, and I can put my 6 right here And I can finish up the problem just like we did before. I'll clean it up real quick. This is going to be a -2. 6 equals +4 plus b. It's obvious that b is going to be 2. So my new equation is y equals, remember that slope we worked real hard to find, -2/5 x plus 2. And we will stop there for today. I hope that helps everybody as you are solving equations, working with finding parallel and perpendicular lines.